We are live. Happy MLK Day, everybody. We are here talking about community service. We have two actual teens joining us. They're going to talk to us about community service, what it means to them, how they feel about it, and maybe tell us a few of the things that they've been doing. So rather than talking about teens, we'll be talking to teens. Welcome, Justin. Welcome, Christopher. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what we do here, guys, is we just have a little conversation. It's a short conversation, and people chime in. Sometimes they put comments in the comment section. So why don't we start with you two? Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your community service and volunteer life? We could start with Justin, who is returning to us. Some of you may have seen him in the past, as he was a intern last summer, and he actually appeared in 2 live episodes with us last summer. Welcome back, Justin.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. So I'm Justin. I'm a senior, and this year for community service has mostly been going to the farm at my school and helping out with like managing the kids that go there and work there, as well as harvesting the crops that were in season, like garlic, turmeric, all that stuff. So that's mostly the community service that we've been doing this year.
Thank you. Your turn, Christopher. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Christopher. I'm a freshman, and the community service I've been doing this year has been through an organization called YMSL, which is the Young Men's Service League, where we go and do a ton of service like events across the community. And so I've done things with the people with me. We've done things like packaged foods at the Solidarity Food Pantry, or I volunteered and helped the people at the Atlanta Community Tool Bank. And so there's just kind of a ton of things that we can do.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. So you get to have a variety of experiences. Well, we have five moms and another more recently former teen on who I'm sure have questions for you. So I don't want to take up all your time. I'm sure they have other questions about your volunteer life.
I'd like to ask Christopher about this. So this organization you go through, it basically, is it something where they set up volunteer opportunities and then you sign up? Is that how that works?
Yes, it's kind of where it's a group of kids, and it's like one chapter, and there's a ton of different chapters, and there's a whole list of tons of places that you can volunteer for, and you essentially reach out to somebody who will organize a group of people who will go together, and we will serve together.
So then when you do this, oh yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead, Sue.
Nope.
I was going to say, so when you do this, so not only do you get to do volunteer, then you're also doing it with peers. So you get to meet people. So it's not through school. So you get to meet kids from all around the area who are all doing it together. So that's a great way to build also camaraderie with a bunch of new people. That's great. Sounds like a great club.
What's the organization?
YMSL.
And what does it stand
for? It's called
for?
Young Men's Service League.
And is it just a given that both of you would do service? Is that like in your family, it's just a given?
Yeah, it's kind of, well, I actually joined this service league this year. It was kind of something that me and my mom decided to do together. But we, as a family, we have done service periodically over the past, consistently.
And you, Justin, is it in your family's DNA?
Yeah, well, it mostly started, we got more into community service once me and my sister started going to the school that we go to now. And before that, it was mostly just helping out wherever we could, but nothing really super organized. But, yeah.
And so the stuff you're doing now is the school is encouraging the students to do it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask both of you, do you feel like you're giving and getting, or is it just a giving?
I think for me, it's a little bit of both because I get to meet new people and learn more about my environment, people around me. I remember back in like 8th grade for me, we had this community service project where we would go help the preschoolers at our school and kind of tutor them and teach them And through that program, I was able to like kind of find my passion, I guess, for kind of helping others and teaching, especially those who like are really super passionate about it.
That's lovely. How about you, Christopher?
Yes, I'm with Justin on this one too, where it's kind of like I get, and I also get from it because I am putting in labor, I'm doing work, but at the same time, I get a feeling of gratification almost. Like it feels good to help other people and see people smile, and it warms my heart.
Hmm. That's
Do you
so
ever
lovely.
pull your friends into doing this with you?
Can you repeat the question?
Do you ever pull your friends into doing these activities with you?
Well, I have friends in YMSL, and so I will kind of, if I'm planning to do something, I'll kind of try to see if I can do that with them because are part of the same organization. We can plan things together, and so that's what I will try to do.
So,
Did you hear that one, Justin? I see that you kind of went out for a second there. Do you organize or pull your friends into doing volunteer work with you?
I think most of the time my friends just end up being looped in without me having to reach out to them because we work in groups. And so that's always like a bonus to kind of work with people that I know.
I have a question. Both of you mentioned volunteering with your families at some point. What kind of work do you do with your families in case there are parents and guardians out there looking for opportunities and they don't know where to begin? What kind of stuff have you done with your family?
Well, the last thing I remember doing with my family was over a Thanksgiving where we delivered meals to families in need, and mainly senior citizens. And so we would drive around and we would deliver Thanksgiving meals to people. And we would also go to schools and clean up schools, donate supplies, clean up classrooms, paint things, that kind of thing. And so it was kind of just, we did gardening, just things that you can do as a family together, I guess.
Yeah, for me, it was mostly making meals for people and kind of specifically like little bags or gift bags that kind of help people along their way, filled with like napkins or toothbrushes, sometimes, stuff like essentials that people need.
Oh, Sue, you're muted.
Kamaya, what's the sandwich thing that you posted about?
So last week, my first year college student who's just barely a teen and I attend the Sandwich Project is an organization and they have chapters throughout the country. They have one here in Atlanta where we live. We and our neighbors got together at a local restaurant and we made sandwiches, 411 sandwiches for hungry neighbors. And you get to decide what organization you want to donate them to. It's something that our neighborhood does once a week. A neighbor takes turns collecting sandwiches from other neighbors and another neighbor, a consistent neighbor, always picks them up every Wednesday and he takes them to an organization for us. But last week we had a big community wide. We want to expand our community service and formalize it for the neighborhood. So at least once a quarter, we're going to do that. We're going to do the sandwiches and we're going to clean the highway exit near us is our next one.
I'd rather make sandwiches.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, multi-generational and everybody getting together for a project, just a couple of hours. And we made 411 sandwiches in 1 hour.
Wow. So if people are looking for something to have their teens do, like today's Martin Luther King Day, day of service, and even if you can't do it today, it's forever, right? So Christopher and Justin, do you have any suggestions for things that your peers are doing that you may be busy in one area, but they're doing something else interesting?
Or I know I have a friend that works for a daycare. Like they take their time after school and go assist with like cleaning up and help make sure the children all have what they need and stuff like that. It could really be anything. It doesn't have to be anything super complicated. It could be as simple as just going out and maybe handing stuff out. Like say you're on your way to somewhere and you bring some stuff with you, you can hand it out along the way. Little things like that go a long way.
Mm-hmm. I have friends that tutor kids that need it. I have friends that will work at organizations. I know I have a friend who plays tennis, and so he will go and coach kids and help, I guess, spark a light for some kids who really enjoy the sport. I have a friend that uh, volunteers for the Christopher League, which is essentially a baseball league for special needs kids who can't like play almost, and so they will help out and encourage them as they play baseball, and it's a great experience.
Mm. Wow, really beautiful ideas. I don't know, like, there's so much discussion about your generation, and every time we get to talk to your generation, we're like, what are we worried about? They are way more together than we are. They're changing the world. So unless anyone else has something to say, I just want to thank Christopher and Justin so much for being here. It's it's so uplifting. Like, thank you for taking the time, even just to come on this show with these old ladies and Jessica, and take your time to do that. And happy Martin Luther King Day. I hope everyone's finding something meaningful to do today. And thanks for coming on, Justin and Christopher.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having
guys.
me.